Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is springtime in Virginia, and that means we're going camping. So come along with us. Thanks for joining us. This weekend we spent at the Harrisonburg Shenandoah Valley KOA, and it's on the north side of Harrisonburg, Virginia, off of I-81, very close to Shenandoah National Park and Luray Caverns. And what we like about this campground is that it has a real state park feel to it. There's a lot of trees left at the campground, and you can sit outside and look at the trees and hear all the birds that are here for spring. And it's just really relaxing.
Yeah, it was so relaxing actually that we didn't leave the campground. We actually just decided to stay there and relax and walk around the area. We'll tell you about some of the neat features of the campground that was there. And one of them was, hopefully I'm not going out of order here, but a hiking trail even. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was really nice and just an enjoyable stay.
And if you do need to run out, it's kind of in the country, but at the off ramp that you get off on I-81 to go to the campground, which is about just a little over 2 miles from the campground, there is a truck stop with, store for snacks and beer and all that kind of stuff. But there's also a store at the campground, which we'll talk about in a minute. So there is stuff fairly close to the campground, but once you get there, the seclusion is pretty nice, and we really enjoyed the peace and quiet. And on this trip, we went with our son and daughter-in-law and grandson, and we also met with Kenny and Sabrina from Moving Forward Adventures.
Yeah, so see if you can spot the grandbaby in the video here because he makes his YouTube debut. So another thing that we like about KOAs in general, and this one was no exception, is that there are a lot of different options on the sites. So if you look at our Luray KOA video, you'll see that we stayed in a deluxe site. At this stop, our friends Kenny and Sabrina were in a deluxe site and we were in a standard pull through. So they have standard pull throughs and then they have deluxe pull throughs. They also, of course, have the back ends, which the back ends are the lower price rate. But of the back ends, they had some that were very large, like a lot. And by large, I mean not only long, but this campground also had really wide spots, I felt like. And even us with the traditional pull through, it was very wide and it had a nice big area for you to have where the fire pit was.
Yeah. And the sites are all gravel, no matter which one you get. And the deluxe pull-through sites, there's only a handful of them there, but they have a deck with a gas grill and plenty of seating. So
and a rocking type of, like, two people, not a kind of like a porch swing, but the rocking model. Yeah.
And then they also have a fire pit as well. So they're really nice and spacious, but I think they're pretty hard to get because there's only a few of them there. Yeah. And then they also have a couple of different cabins. They have the rustic cabins, which Julie looked in, and I think they had a double bed and a bunk bed.
Yep. And no bathroom or anything. It's just kind of like a one-room thing, but it gets you out of the elements.
And they're close to the bathhouse, so you're just a short walk to the bathrooms there. And then they have some deluxe cabins, which are I think they only had a couple of those, but they were nice, and of course they were booked.
Yeah, and they're essentially like a park model style, or even like a mini trailers, but they have like a living room, a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen, all of those types of things. And I think almost every KOA we've been to has those, and often have those little one-room cabins too.
Yeah. And then they also have tent sites. And I thought it was interesting. The first time I've noticed this, maybe I just hadn't paid attention before, but they had some tent sites that were just gravel or dirt. And then they had other tent sites which had like mulch and stuff down
Mm-hmm.
around them. And they all had, I think, access to water, a water spigot, and electricity as
Yep.
well.
Yeah. Another great thing about the KOA was the service. They had firewood because you know a lot of places you can't bring your own firewood, but they delivered it to your site. They also did trash pickup every morning from your site.
Yeah, and that's really nice, especially since there were more people than we were used to. We had to generate a little bit more trash, but you just set it out by the edge of your site, and they drive by and pick it up at the first thing in the morning. So that was kind of nice.
And when we first got there, before the family arrived, we did have a couple little work things to tie up. And we found that they had excellent Wi-Fi. And that is kind of rare at a campground.
Yeah, I was expecting it to, well, the first time we stayed there, I was expecting it to not be that great because of all the trees and everything, but we didn't even have to use our booster, and we were able to get on the internet and do what we needed to do, which is, yeah, that's unusual for a campground.
Yeah, and our kids were even streaming a little bit of TV. I'm not sure if you did, but they were in the evening on the Wi-Fi.
Yep, and they also have cable at the sites, or at most
Most
sites.
sites, not all. We did talk to someone who had a site that didn't have cable.
But we didn't connect it, so have no idea what that was like.
Yeah.
But other amenities, they have a camp store
Mm-hmm.
where you check in, and they also have pizza.
Yeah, they make the pizza there, and then they will also deliver that to your site as well. And the camp store is like co-located with where you check in. And the neat thing about that also is that they have like an outdoor game area right in front of it. They have some seats and a big like community fire pit. But then they also have, I think it was like maybe one of those little outdoor big chess things or something. I can't
Oh,
remember
yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
but it was some type of game type of thing. They had some cornhole out there, and then they even had like a little covered group picnic type area.
Yeah, and they had a ping pong under there and maybe foosball as well.
Yeah.
And then they also had a playground for the kids.
Yeah, and I
And
even went on a slide for the first time in I don't know how long.
and it's a big playground. I thought there was and it fits with the um, kind of the theme. It's a wooden playground.
Yeah.
I thought it was really
Well,
nice.
it was like wood and mulch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had a pool. Wasn't open yet. I think one of the nights we were there, it was dropped down into the 30s. So it's not quite pool season yet. But so we didn't get to check out the pool, but it is right next to the playground. And then right next to that is probably the only, if you are a pet owner, this is probably a little bit of a downside, but the pet area, Camp Canine, was very small.
Yeah, it was probably the smallest one I've seen at a KOA. The thing that made up for it was that there were plenty of other like green spaces to walk your pet. Not only like you could take your pet on that nature trail I told you about, but also down near the front, there's an area that says pet area, and you walk back there, and it's just like a big open field.
Yeah, but I think it's not a place to unleash your pet.
No,
But
the off leash place was small.
yeah. And then all three of those things are located very close, like within eyesight of the check-in office and the camp store and the game area as well. And then they also have a dump station there if you're pulling in from somewhere and want to dump, or on your way out if there was a problem at your site. They do have a dump station.
I think they may even have had a few back-end sites that were not full hookup.
Oh, okay.
Usually KOAs are that way. There'll be a couple water sewer type sites if you want to save a few bucks.
Okay. They also offered propane. They have a laundry room there. It's $2 to wash and $2 to dry. And they also have bathhouses, like we said, close to those rustic cabins.
And then for fun, they had disc golf. It was a small one where they're close together, so it would be good for the kids. And then I also really enjoyed, I didn't fish, but just going up to this little fishing pond that they have. You cross a little creek, and then it was just a really tranquil area. The first night we were there, I did see some young kids out there. It was catch and release. And then the other times we went, no one was there, and they had a
Yeah.
nice little swing.
And then, yeah, so overall, it's a really nice park. Like we said, it's got that state park feel to it with all the trees. And this was our second time there.
Mm-hmm.
We met, like we said, the Kenny and Sabrina from Moving Forward Adventures. And he's also my podcast partner on the Beyond the Wheel podcast. So both times we met them there, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really nice park, and like I said, we've stayed there before, and we will definitely come back in the future for just nice, relaxing weekends.
Yeah, definitely.
So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and let us know in the comments if you've stayed at the Harrisonburg Shenandoah Valley KOA and what your thoughts were of the park. And if you had the same feeling as we did while you stayed there. And until we see you on the road, safe travels.